Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of We Are Legion Live. Tonight, joining us from Canada, we have Deep Fried.
Hey, Bill, how you doing?
Good. Been kind of a hectic weekend, but we're all doing good here.
Right on. Good to
There.
hear. How's the weather where you are? It's been raining here for 4 days.
Well, we just got done with the rain. We've had a couple days rain-free, but it's just now starting to warm up. We're getting back up in the 60s. We should be back to the 70s by the end of the week.
Right
But
on.
we've had some pretty good rain. They had some pretty nasty storms east of us, but here in Kansas City, we just got some regular rain, and it was neat though.
Better than snow, man, for sure.
I hear that.
Yeah.
So do you want to meet? Do you want to meet the guys?
I was getting ready to say, why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves, and then tell us a little bit about the band.
Bill?
Me? All right. So I'm the other Bill. I play guitar in the band and write some of the songs and do some of the backup vocals. And all that kind of stuff. And I guess I'll pass it to Scott.
Yeah, I'm Scott Atkins. I'm the drummer in the band. I'm based out of Montreal, just a suburb of Montreal, Pointe-Claire, Quebec. And I joined these guys actually just a year ago now. But I went to high school with them like 30 years ago, and I played with Bill in another band 27 years ago. And yeah, since coming on board a year ago, it's just been a blast. It's been a wild ride.
It's been fun, eh, Scotty?
Yep.
Right.
And I'm Jamie Levere. I'm lucky enough to get to write a lot of the lyrics, and these guys are easy to write for. They're fantastic musicians. They're both so well schooled. It's beautiful. And we do have two other guys who couldn't make it, Jeff Murphy and Kevin Salter. They've been out. They've actually been playing live. They've been hitting the nursing homes and bingo halls. Kevin says it's a great way to pick up chicks, so I'm not going to argue with him.
However you got to do it, man. I'm about ready to start doing that myself. This pandemic's got us all of it on edge, you know.
Yeah. What's going on where you are? Like, we're on lockdown again, like red zone. And
Yeah, I know you guys in Quebec is probably one of the more locked down areas in Canada. Here, we're kind of opening it up a little bit. We still got parts of the city are opening up. Other parts of the city are still keeping locked down. Kansas City, I don't know if you know much about the area. It's in between. It's in two states.
okay.
The Missouri side is opening up. The Kansas side is still kind of locked down. I'm on the Kansas side right now. Yeah, it's I'm actually in one of the counties on the Kansas side that is opening back up, and but of course I've had both doses of the vaccination.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Yes. I work for the government in my day job, so I kind of.
When you're not on night, you mean?
Yeah. Well, that was a special occasion right there that I was working there. I build computer training networks for the Army.
Oh, okay.
We were on a training exercise, and that's why I was working nights last night. And
good for you.
But since I work with the Army, I got a chance to get the vaccine early. And I decided that I was going to take the vaccine because I also have two young kids. I wanted to see how I was going to react to the vaccine before I ever.
Yeah. How old are they, Bill?
Sure.
I have a 6-year-old boy and a 3-year-old boy.
Fun times.
Fun, yeah.
I love that age. That's perfect.
Well, they are great most of the time. Some of the times they're just too much like their dad, and
oh, that's all right.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I got a little guy that's turning 6 next month, so.
Oh yeah, and yeah, they got too much of their dad in them, and sometimes just drive me a little bit up the wall. But yeah, they're great kids, and I wouldn't trade them for anything in the world.
No, mine are all in their 20s now. But back to the pandemic thing, like, Scott, are you still under curfew, you guys?
It got pushed back a little later, so it runs now. It starts at 9:30 at night, goes till 5 a.m.
Isn't that
Oh, really?
craziness?
Yeah, we never really had a curfew. We had where the businesses and stuff would all shut down at like 10 o'clock, but there was never actually like a curfew for people to actually be home and stuff like that because they still had we pretty much, especially in my area with the military base here, run people are working 24/7, you know, and
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
so yeah, we never really dealt with much of a curfew here per se, as say like in the bigger cities like New York or Los Angeles or something like that. We
Mm.
were kind of lucky in that aspect.
What a crazy time!
It
Like,
is.
Unbelievable. It's gone on this long.
It's. I'm not a musician, but I love music. I really love live music. I haven't got to see any live music going on 14 months now. The last live music I saw was in Poland when I was over there last year, right before the pandemic,
Really?
for my day job. Yeah,
Okay.
and I haven't got to see any here in the States for 18 months.
Now, what do they listen to over there?
They actually Poland has a very great. Where I was at, I was halfway in between Warsaw and Berlin
Okay.
there, and it was a very good town, and they had a very great music scene, and there was a little bit of everything. There was country, there was rock. They had a huge rock bar there. They had traditional Polish music there, polka and stuff that well, and even that it was really nice just to hear some of that stuff, and
Oh, absolutely. Why not?
Heck yeah.
and I like
Yeah,
to
folk music.
whenever I do travel, I like to immerse myself in the culture a little bit,
Yeah.
and music's the easiest way to do that is because it's
Universal, man. It's
Yeah.
universal.
and it's the language that I speak, and it was really fun. But right now, I'm just dying to get out to see a live show.
Yeah, I hear you. I know.
I'm dying to get out and play a live show.
I can imagine. And
Well, Scott, you do some corporate gigs. Like Scott's, are you like the territory manager of what is it you do?
What? Yeah, I work.
I never listen to you when you talk. So tell us.
I work in sales and artist relations in the music industry, but then I also, I have several projects on the side. I've got a corporate band, 8-piece corporate band that I play in when there's gigs, when there's no pandemic, obviously. And just over the years, taken on different projects with friends, independent musicians, allowed me to stay in touch as a player, not just be involved in the industry on the business end of it. So I'm very lucky, fortunate at this point in my life, I've been able to play all the way through my career.
He's got some pretty cool contacts, like really neat contacts.
sorry, I'm over here trying to catch up with
I wasn't listening to him either. Don't worry about it.
I was listening.
Sure you will.
I was talking over. We got some huge fans of yours actually out here in the chat. Stacy, Boston actress,
God love her. I'll tell her
And,
I'm in the break room.
and Sammy Griffin also.
Okay.
Both said they're huge fans of yours. So
Awesome.
Right on. Thank you. That's really nice to say.
they were really excited about me having you guys on the show tonight, as was I. So
Hopefully they aren't too disappointed. Bill does
definitely.
talk a lot.
Yes, I do. No,
No, the other Bill. The other Bill.
Oh, this one. Oh, okay.
He seems to be a guy that just you can't get a word in edgewise. Yeah. But so have you guys got to actually get together and play any at all during the pandemic at all?
Bill, would you like to say something?
I think so. Yeah, not really. I mean, we're in different places. I mean, Jamie's in Ontario, Scott's in Quebec. I'm in New Brunswick, which is just north of Maine, out here on the East Coast. And we've used technology to do all of this, right? Like Scott and I have our own home studios, and we just come up with the demo tracks and stuff, and pass some ideas around. And it's so funny. So we all grew up in the same town, but You know, this far along the line, we're all in different places, yet we still get a chance to, you know, be able to play together. And I think technology really, really helped out a lot of artists during this whole pandemic thing, because without that, I mean, not being able to play, not being able to see anybody and everything, you know, I think it would have been a lot more difficult. But I think what happened is it was like kind of like a blessing in disguise, you know, if that's the way you want to say it, because a lot of really cool things came out of this time.
You know, I've been telling people that for months. For independent artists, this was actually kind of a blessing in disguise because it put you on the same playing field as all the major acts. Everybody was forced to go online and use their social media platforms to put music out there into the world. No one was playing live shows. No one was selling tickets. Everybody was streaming from online. They're watching the videos and things like that. So for at least a little while, you got to be on the same level playing field as
that's right. Yeah,
and a chance to just get your name out there along with people like that. And it also gave you time to set back and work your social medias to build your fan bases and to use the time to become creative and get some more material to put out for people. And as horrible as the pandemic is, and I wouldn't wish to ever do this ever again, for independent artists, and it was kind of a blessing in disguise.
Mm-hmm. I think you're onto something there for sure.
I think a lot. I think that, you know, when times get tough, I think people kind of tend to gravitate towards music. Anyways, you know, I think that's when it's needed the most.
And you're correct there. I mean, we said it earlier.
Sure.
Music is universal. It's the language of life. That if it wasn't for everybody keeping music out there during this time, I think we would have had a lot more serious problems with people with mental illness and depression and things like that, because they wouldn't have had anything to go to. But the music helped keep people somewhat together during this horrible time, you know?
Well, I think just with the technology to be able to communicate with other people, like, can you imagine this happening like 25 years ago when we didn't have the cell phones, we didn't have the internet, we didn't, and we're just kind of locked in our homes with nothing. I mean, nothing.
Yeah.
So this Twitter's been a fantastic platform for everything, especially getting the music out. Because when we did it first off on Facebook, our first CD, just crickets, like nothing, diddly. And then Twitter with this one, like we're actually you're getting played all over the place, and you're getting contacts, and it's been phenomenal. Like, and the group that you've I don't know, collaborated with you, like you've just done fantastic stuff for all of these people. Like, and I know they thank you all the time, but I thank you for all of us. Like, what a fantastic avenue you offer, and we just really appreciate that, because without guys like you, we're just hoping the hell someone hears it. You know, like, really.
It's really my pleasure to be able to do it for you all. I mean, music has done so much for me throughout my life. It's got me through some very difficult times, and this is kind of my way to pay it forward back to artists who actually have the talent to put the music out there to help me get through those times. You know, I'm not very musically inclined. I can talk and stuff like that, and I have a talent of bringing people together. Twitter, I mean, we're at 21,000 people now, and that's just been going for.
Is that how many followers you have now?
Yeah, and that's in 16 months. Yeah.
Do you guys want a drink?
And they're drinking.
All right.
But
pull tab?
Most of those are artists and stuff from different places from around the world, and people just come together and share their experiences with one another, share ideas. We've built some really great collaborations that have come out of people meeting through that media stream and stuff like.
No kidding.
And it's just been grown beyond my wildest dreams, and I'm just happy that is available to you guys to be able to use as a tool to help spread the word about your music.
Very cool. Yeah, very cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. I thought we're kind of taken back by that a little bit. Just you noticed it's like, kind of don't know what to say. It's your success is great. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Well,
all of that for sure.
Personally, I don't care about the number. The 21K for me, it means nothing. The 21K is great for you all because every time you guys drop a link in my daily stream that I do, anywhere from 8 to 32,000 people have a chance to listen to that every single day.
Oh, for sure.
From all over the world, and that was the point of all this for me, was to help get your all's music out to people's ears and let them decide for themselves who they like, and maybe discover someone, because radio stations are horrible. They just cram the same 10 artists down your throat all the time. Nothing against those artists. They're great artists, but there's more music out there and great musicians out there than just those 10 artists that they're playing on the radio. It's just not everybody gets a record company throwing big money behind them, so they get played on over the radio. And I'm just hearing people come back to me and say, I appreciate it so much. You've really helped out with, that's all I ever wanted to do, was just help. I know there's tons of people out there that want to try to scam artists and stuff and make them pay for this. There's no point in charging people for that. I mean, all I'm doing is giving you a place to drop your links, and I retweet it for you. I mean,
and the music should
charge
do
you
the
for that.
talking anyway.
Yeah.
But what I really like about your, sorry to
No, go ahead.
Quit talking while I'm interrupting. What I like about your kind of main group of people is there's not one of them who does not support the other ones. They're constantly retweeting, sharing. They're slapping the hearts down, the kisses. They're just, it's ridiculously, it's just really neat. Like they're all like, there's enough room for everybody. So I mean, they're just really, really supportive.
Oh, yeah.
I see it every day.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you're a big part of that. So
yeah, the music community rocks that way.
Yeah, and we did. They've come together, and it's not, and it's all genres too. I mean, back when we were growing up, I mean, there was just a definitive line between genres. Genre someone was, and you have staunch people that say, I'll only listen to this genre, or da, da, da. But music has transformed and become almost genreless nowadays, where you're incorporating different aspects from those different genres into music and bringing fans from those different genres. Even if the artists don't change and add, say, a rock band, they don't have to add those different genres because someone else has done it. So you're bringing in fans from, say, a country that's mixed with a rock song.
Exactly.
They're listening to more traditional rock bands and stuff now than they would have ever before. And so it brings all this stuff together, and it's just great. And to be able to reach audiences, not just locally or in Canada, but now you reach audiences on a global stage.
Oh, and that's awesome. Like the fusion of all the different styles, and then the the eclectic aspect as well, because we're all connected to the world now, right? And normally, as you said, you don't get to hear that on the radio so much, but if you go to some of the other stations, and if you go looking around, you don't have to look very far. And you'll find all different types of music like that. With our album, what we wanted to do is focus mainly, the other guitarist, he's not here tonight, Kevin Salter. Though we had a discussion where the vision for it that we had was, let's just do rock and roll, straight ahead rock and roll. We're going to record 10 bangers, and we're not going to overthink it. We're just going to go for it. And and that was it. And because we've been doing this since the 80s. Like we've all we played together in a band. We learned to play together, when we were kids. So I kind of know. I'm not going to play it in this key because Jamie likes this one better. Like we kind of know each other. you know, or like this is the type of voice he has, or if I leave this space, I know he's going to read the play and he's going to go for it. It's like a hockey team where you don't even have to look, you just pass the puck and you know he's going to skate in, he's going to be there, right? Or like anything, like any type of, you know, teamwork like that, right?
Well, that's
like,
sorry, go ahead.
No, and you know, once you work together, you know, like a track and field team, you just pass the baton. You know, the guy's going to grab it. He's going to take it, right?
All I was going to say was,
knowing that, it made it a lot easier to do things like online, and it made it a lot easier for us to work in that format. It's just Jamie wants to talk here.
No,
no, I must be saying something that's pushing his buttons because he's just getting himself. He's like,
no, go ahead. all I was going to add was that most of these bands, like I'm sure not most of them anymore, but they all get to sit in the same room and jam the number together and go, okay, this works. The hours and hours put on the phone between all of us over speeds and just we're not in the same room, right? So to kind of make it cohesive and stuff, it's a little bit of work, but our guitar player, he's the one in Ottawa. He couldn't be here tonight, but he's out of Ottawa, Ontario. He's the one who mixed and mastered this and did a fantastic job. I mean, the comments we've gotten from people, and they go, holy geez, like, where'd you go? We're like, he's done this work in his basement studio. Like, it's just fantastic. So I'd be remiss to not say that. And the other guy, what's his name again? None of us like him. Jeff Murphy.
Some Irish fellow. Yeah.
George,
he's
Jack.
He's selling Edibevs now, those Edibeb beverages. White collar holy water. He used to be an altar boy, and we'd always tease him. But anyway, that's a different story. Go ahead, Bill. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Hey, I got to kind of come into
I deserve that one.
No, Jeff is awesome. He can't be here. He's a true entertainer. Everybody, you know, everybody loves Jeff. You know, and he wrote a couple really good songs for the album, and he just showed he's a different style of artist though than what we normally.
Neil Young.
Yeah, he likes the Neil Young stuff. He's more like leans towards the folk side of things. So you know, as you were talking about, you know, different types of musical fusion. You know, Jeff, when he plays on his own, it's a totally different type of thing. It's awesome. But when he plays with us, you know, he shows up, he'll bang it out on the acoustic guitar. This is a song idea I have. It'll be a folk song. And then I'll take it and then I'll do the tracks on the computer and I'll turn it into a rock song. Right. And he's totally okay with it. But, you know, I didn't mess with it all that much. You know, I just converted it into a different format. So when Jeff writes for the band, you'll hear the two songs he did for this one. One was Retea. He did that one on the album. The other one was Road of Bones. And it was really cool the way it worked.
When I heard the first version of Road of Bones, I mean, I see exactly what you're talking about. I mean, I heard that it was a folk song, basically.
Mumford & Sons.
Sitting around the fire, jamming it out on an acoustic guitar. And look at the end result of this song now. It's, you know, pretty strong rock.
Scott's awake. I thought we lost him.
All right. Well, why don't we take a moment? You guys have been talking about this album. When is the planned release of the album coming out, or has it already been released? Or
it was released last June.
Okay.
And we're still getting tons of plays all over. So
okay.
But we're working on other stuff right now as we speak.
Okay. I got your Spotify pulled up here. Is there a specific song would like me to play for the audience?
We just talked about Road of Bones. Why don't we hit that one?
Road of Bones? All right. Well, go.
Scott, go back to bed.
We're gonna drop Road of Bones right on down for you. Here you go.
It's so damn cold, the place where you lose your face and you walk your own soul. It's a road, such a long road, scattered with holes and fires, pain and bleeding his bones. Right by the floor, feel the hole. Where whispers turn to silence, ghost touch will. Where whispers turn to silence, ghost touch. On this road, built on stone. On this road, built on stone. Leads to nothing but the rain to a place that's cold. Place is cold, so goddamn cold. A place where you lose your face and you walk your own soul. Oh, this road, God-forsaken road, a scatter with hopes and promise, pavement faded bones. Right side of the floor, filled with hope. If you've been there, you can give it go. Right side of the floor, roll the ball. Fade away, you think you're ready to go.
You know, I'd love that track, but the drumming is so subpar.
Oh, what a road.
That was an amazing track, guys. Why don't you guys go ahead and shout out and tell everybody where they can find you guys on social media for the band?
Right here.
On social media.
Absolutely. WeareLegion Music. Always go to that site first. Always. No, yeah, absolutely. We're on Spotify, and you know, we use one of those distributors to go out and send our music all over the place. I can't remember all the places now. You know, Deezer, Google Play. We're on Amazon. I know most people use Spotify. You know, that's one of the more popular ones. We're on Apple Music, iTunes. I think Google Play is now on YouTube. You know, so you can search for us on YouTube. But if you go on YouTube and look up deep fried, you're going to get a lot of great recipes that might not be healthy for you. But, you know, you might want to check out some of them too, you know. But it's just kind of harder to find us on deep fried, you know, on YouTube. But, you know, all things considered, you know, we're out there and we're getting quite a few plays. I was impressed. It was pretty well received. I mean, we didn't have too many troubles, you know, getting on the radio stations. We just had to find the ones that were the right format for us, and there was a lot of research to do. You know, Twitter was great for that. But you know, and anytime a radio station plays us, what we do is, you know, we help them out. We cross promote. We promote them too. You know, and make sure that the people in our network of people, you know, knows where to find our music if they want to listen to the radio. You know, and in doing that, you know, they can find out about other bands too. And I mean, and just the more the people do that, the more everything just starts to work. You know?
Absolutely. I mean, there's just a ton of internet radio stations and stuff now, and with everybody consuming music through the internet. It helps, yeah, to cross promote with those. And not only does it draw in their fans to you, but your fans to them. And you're going to find a lot of more independent artists and stuff like that. And you're going to end up helping out a ton more people than what you even think that you're helping out. And
Yeah.
I'm hoping that some of them actually reach out and let you all know that and how much they appreciate that when you do stuff like that.
Well, I'd like to plug Pluto Radio for one. Every day they're tagging you with all these other musicians, so then you hook up with them, they follow back. You're seeing their stuff, you're retweeting it. We're all just doing it like for one another, right? Like it's been great that way. Like the people, the connections, we've met and everything. Now, when you were talking to Bill, did you want where you can see us on social media?
I want to know where the people in the chat and people watching this can go out and find the band on social media. It was great on Spotify and stuff where they could find there to play, but like where
Twitter
you can find Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, things like that. Let them know. You got a website?
We don't have a website. We use Twitter. It's at Deep Fried Rocks, and we use Facebook. And it's it's just Deep Fried on Facebook. People can find our page there. We do have a website, but that's for DJs. That's more of a electronic press kit, right? That type of thing. But we'd like to have a public facing website eventually. That's in the horizon. But most of the people that we know, they can find us on Facebook or Twitter, and I find that's the most fun. Oh, there's Instagram too.
Scott's got us on the gram. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys
Deep Fried 86? Is it?
I think it's 86 if I remember right.
Deep Fried 86.
Yeah.
You guys have like any a merch site or anything like that going on right now?
We're just talking about that right now, actually.
Okay. I'm gonna send you a couple shirts, Bill. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Well, you let me know. I always wear artist shirts on the show. This is Sarah Faith music. I love supporting the bands by getting their shirts and stuff and wearing them on the show. So just another way to help advertise the bands and stuff. And it's really fun doing it that way. I mean, it doesn't matter if people donate them. I pay
I'll
for them.
send you a couple of these.
Right on. I wear size large.
All right, that's all I got. And then the front, I'll you just DM me your address and I'll shoot them off to you.
All right, we'll do. We'll get that done. Yes, and and whenever I do a show, I will also when I promote on Instagram, I will tag you if I'm wearing your clothes for that night, and that way.
Then what am I gonna wear?
That's up to you, big guy. That could draw in more people. You never know.
We're just thankful you got clothes on tonight, LeVere.
So is everybody else.
I'm not saying anything, man.
Times are tough, man. Sometimes I think about going to a strip club, walking out on the stage naked, making people pay me to put my clothes back on.
Well, I've got an adults only hotline, but I've only paid enough for last month to get a Happy Meal.
Yeah.
And they threw in a girl's toy too, which kind of sucked, but what can you do, right?
Why don't you guys? You guys said that you went to high school and stuff together. You grew up together, but what are some of your guys' original inspirations for your music?
Scott, you haven't stopped, so you might as well keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I came into high school a couple of years after these guys were already in there and established. When Bill was talking about, the chemistry of 30 years and how easy songs come together and everything. I mean, a year ago, I kind of walked into a well-oiled machine, so to speak. It was kind of, this was up and running. This album was already in the works for about a year. As far as some of the songs, being laid out and planned, and I just kind of came in and you know, there's a couple of things that might have got modified once the drum charts started going in, but for the most part, I just walked into a, you know, kind of a well-established band situation. Very thankful for that. But back in high school, I remember coming into high school, and these guys were they were the cool guys that had the band. They were playing all the high school functions, the dances, the assemblies, local venues in the summertime, the Hanley Hall concert. I mean, these were the known musicians in the town. And like I say, a few years after that, or towards the end of high school, actually my first year in college, I played with Bill in a separate band. But, you know, my influences as a musician, as a drummer, I mean, I kind of had two very separate lines of thought as a drummer, because I came up, you know, doing drum corps, marching band, high school band. So I was following a lot of jazz drummers. Of course, a big fan of Buddy Rich, Gene Krupa, you know, the big drummers of the day.
Yeah.
But I was into classic rock as well. So I was a big fan of Ian Pace, Deep Purple, John Bonham, of course, with Zeppelin. You know, and then everything in between, sort of on the fusion end of things, with the Steve Gadds, the Dave Weckels, the Vinnie Colaiutas.
Doug Clifford, don't forget him.
Yeah, Carol Carpenter. I mean, hey.
OCCR.
So, yeah, I mean, you know, playing in a classic rock band was always my cup of tea, you know, but I did sort of whatever work came along, you know. One of the things, you know, I mentioned the corporate band a few minutes back, and that happened about 6 or 7 years ago. I started doing that, and it was one of those situations where I thought, at this point in my life, do I really want to get into a cover band and play cover songs again, or do I want to stick with, you know, original material? But I went to the first rehearsal, and these guys were playing a lot of classic rock and doing it really well. They wanted to do it authentically, and the very talented musicians, you know, taking on a lot of music that a lot of bands usually pass over or don't want to play, because it either needs a strong, really strong rhythm section, or really strong vocals. And we have, you know, 6 of the 8 sing in that band. So I've kept myself busy with all kinds of projects, and, like I say, other independent musicians. But when Bill got a hold of me, it was literally the day I was packing up my office to come home and work from home. I've been working from home for a year now. It was the day I was packing up my office to come home, and I got the message from Bill that there was some songs that they needed some drums on, and ended up in the end, it ended up being all 10 songs, and was really happy to be part of the album. It's been a great project. And now
Jesus,
thank
God you didn't get the long version of that story.
I'm going back to sleep now, so I figure I better get it all in while I can.
Bill, your influences, many.
Oh yeah. Well, it was, you know, it was the mid '80s, you know. So for me as a guitar player at that time, I mean, you know, we'd gone through all the way from, you know, Django Reinhardt doing the jazz guitar stuff to, you know, the electric guitar. Les Paul came up with the electric guitar, and then Chuck Berry came up with distortion. And you know, we had Hendrix and Clapton and Zeppelin, you know, and of course the Beatles, and then that all evolved until we came up with, you know, Randy Rhoads and Eddie Van Halen were on the scene, you know, in the late '70s and stuff. So I was like watching this, and I wanted to be a guitar player, and I was like, oh no. You know, like that really lights a fire under your arse, you know. So, you know, but we just said, you know, just determination. So, no, we're going to try to be musicians anyways, and then we're going to, you know, try to work as a band and, you know, see what we can come up with, you know. And there was a lot of different influences for a lot of different things, you know. We're kind of into metal or hard rock back then. You know, but hard rock back then isn't even hard rock by today's standard.
Oh no,
not at all.
Yeah. I grew up, and I'm in that same kind of era there, so I know exactly what you're talking about with the rock music, and now what they were calling hard rock back then barely even registers now to some of the stuff that they're doing, you know, and.
Yeah, for sure.
I really miss the rock from back in the day. Really, not that I don't like the newer stuff, but I kind of more liking it. And when they started playing my music on classic rock radio, I was like,
I know. When did Loverboy become
Yeah, I was like, what? No.
It was such a good era, you know. There's a lot of ways you didn't even really realize it at the time.
Yeah,
You know?
and
What was really neat was with us, like we all had totally different. Like Bill, you were Jimmy Page, like Led Zeppelin. Salt was more Deep Purple,
AC/DC. He's like, yeah.
I was a Creedence head. Like I'd dress up as John Fogerty on his birthday, and I'd walk to school, and I'd have a little Catholic school, public school across the street from my house. They'd only went up to grade 8. Well, the kids would be laughing at me. I'm in high school, and the kids would be laughing at me because I'm dressed up as Fogerty on his birthday. But Murph was Neil Young.
before you go on with that, just by coincidence, you mentioned John Fogerty. My friend Trissette here is actually a working backup singer for John Fogerty. And
I saw that. We're mutual.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, we
Yes.
used to cover a lot of CCR songs, and it just packed the dance floor.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah.
Without a doubt.
Just love them. Favorite band ever.
And well, if you went back and watched the first interview I did with her, I kind of fanboyed out whenever we started talking about John Fogerty.
Yeah, I get it.
It was kind of a mess. So hey, I'm human.
Video has
right?
since been deleted.
No, it's still there because I'm not afraid for people to see me that look like a fool. I'm quite a professional at it, actually.
Well, I saw you one night with wooden things on your knockers.
Oh yeah, I had a promotion that whenever they got me to 3,000 Instagram followers, that I would dress up in a hula outfit and do a show, and I got to 3,000, and bam, right there.
I watched it. It was good. It was classic.
And I was like, I'm gonna come in, and if I make a promise like that, I'm going to come through and fulfill it for everybody. I'm not just gonna make some idle promise out there. I have no shame, really. I mean, I'm one of 6 siblings, and I was number 5. So you do what you got to survive. All right.
Just let him go. The rules are.
Oh, yeah. We used to go with the antics back in the day too. It was a lot of fun. The crazy clothes and the whole thing. I mean, people had a lot of fun back then doing that.
There's some fantastic musicians in Smith Falls. Like there's only 9,000 people here, maybe up to 10 now, but the amount of really good musicians in this town, but it's just that certain people can play with certain people and others can't play with, but there is so much talent here. It's not even funny.
Well, you're at the right spot for this, because this is WeareLegion Live. It's the home of the shameless plug. So if you want to say whoever you want to and call them out and give them a shout out, you feel free right ahead to mention anybody that you like.
Well, I love Jake Durante on the drums, unless that's not him, unless he's not who he says he is, and he just saw the name on the milk carton one time. I don't know what he's going on about, but Sir Gringo Starr. No, there's just a ton of fantastic musicians here, and we're we've all kind of, I think in a way you kind of push each other, you know what I mean? Like there's that local little bit of competition, and you go, geez, look what they're look what they're doing, and then it's just all really good people. Like it's such a tight knit little community, but everybody's aces. It's awesome. It's awesome. And it's even better now that those two moved out of province. Yeah,
for sure.
Scott,
yeah, well, we had to stop rocking so hard, it was causing problems, so we had to. It's a great audience in Smith Falls. They friggin' a great. It's a great audience. We got a lot of crazy memories of things that. Well, I'm not going to say anything.
Answer this for me. So when we played at Ronnie Ferguson's field party, was that us? Remember he had us on the wagon, and he had these like floodlights, but they were like heat lamps.
Oh, the brawl showed up. Yeah, right. These guys are all. I just kept playing
right out of it, and all of a sudden, I don't even remember. All I remember is just I fell down on these lights, So I get up, and Kevin Salter, the guy in our band, goes, ha, 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 and he's laughing at me, and I go, what? He goes, look at your shirt. I had like 8 holes in my shirt where the lights burned right through. I'm like, holy shit, man. This is awesome.
Awesome.
And then guys are skiing off the roof. Oh, it was fun. It was fun. Anyway.
I think I remember that. Yeah, that I heard a shotgun blast, or what I thought was a shotgun blast, and I just went and jumped behind the hay. I just hit the dirt. I just made myself as small and unnoticeable as possible. And then,
there. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we come back the next day, and we forgot our instruments on the friggin' stage and everything. We took out of there so fast, no one took them. Everyone was just like, "Okay, we're gone." Like it just got completely out of hand. That's that can happen with
I only have to bring a mic, so I don't care.
Oh, I took off with you guys.
I don't know.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. I remember we went into somebody's house. I don't know whose house it was. We weren't there. I said, "You guys know these people, right?" They're like, "Oh yeah, we know these people. No problem. Don't worry about it." And I don't know.
Yeah, done that a few times. Yeah, you go in and you're in the wrong house.
We're just kids. Holy shit!
You don't have to tell me, man. I know all about it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think we better stop ourselves right here, Jamie.
Just, okay, all right.
Yeah, we're back about the album now. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's get back to the.
Questions here, Bill.
Let's get back to the album. You guys got another song you'd like me to play off of that album?
Just enough.
Yeah,
Just enough.
Just enough. Yeah, I played a bunch of riffs for Jamie, and he just picked this out of the batch. He said, "Okay, just send a bunch of stuff out there and see what happens." And he just like, "Okay, that one, I like that one."
This is actually the song that Bill sent me that day that hooked me on the project right from the get-go. So
then this is a great one to play. Here's Just Enough.
Do you guys want a beer while I'm up?
Would love one.
All right, brother. I'll drink one for each of us.
Let's keep it dignified. There's a feeling deep inside. Just enough is gonna make you high. Yeah, alright. Is it gonna be enough for you tonight? I said, oh, is it enough? No, it's never gonna be enough. Is it gonna be?
Outstanding, gentlemen. Outstanding.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you.
Thank you.
The guitar playing is a little weak in that one, but
It is, man. I just, I got lots of excuses, but I'm not proud.
I've said right from the get-go, you and Scott together on that one is just you guys just did a really, really phenomenal job in that one. And now I'm done blowing smoke up your ass, so that's all you're getting from me tonight. That's it. You did a good job.
That, you know. But yeah, that's from what I've heard off the album. I really need to listen to the entire album because, like you said, every one of those songs is a banger, and it's just a great quality album. Do you guys have plans for release of a follow-up album anytime soon, or how's that working? I know you guys are obviously working on new music and stuff like that, but
Scotty?
Well, I'll let Bill take it actually, because he's kind
Holy
of.
Jesus, has he not talked enough tonight? Like, I'm sick of listening to him.
He's just afraid of what I'm going to say. That's all. That's
No, I mean,
don't have
hey,
to worry.
I can talk
I've had
about
a few drinks. I might,
I can talk about what I.
I don't care at this point.
No, I can talk about what I just laid tracks to this afternoon, but I mean, Bill's the genius of that arrangement that we're working on right now, and it's pretty stellar. I thought we should talk about it because it's a little bit of a twist from what we're listening to right now on the last album, but not too far of a stretch away from the rock, but definitely a new twist with this one.
A little prog, I think, Scott, Bill. Maybe progressive a little bit.
I don't know. I really don't know what to say. This one is
drums to me make it sound.
It sounds better with the drums. I like the new drum ideas that we got for sure.
Oh, me too. So
yeah.
Well,
it was I kind of wrote it for the drum community because Scott's an artist relations manager. He knows some of the top drummers in the world, and they listen to our music too. We got some really good compliments from them and some endorsements from them, which really, really freaking helped us out. That was amazing. Tommy from Black Sabbath, was the. Wow. Yeah, like that's a life changer,
Yeah,
damn.
Ryan Van Corderine from Devin Townsend Project. Dave Langeth from Kim Mitchell Band. Got some great feedback on this album.
Never saw that coming.
Really dug it.
Yeah, amazing. To hear that from other people in the community that were that good, and they're all amazing drummers and stuff. So what I did is I just said, now I'm going to write a song that's kind of conducive to rock drumming, right?
Well, you're giving something nice,
and it was kind of like
work with.
So if those guys are going to listen to our music and hear it, if they're going to listen to it again, let's give them something to listen to that's going to be, their kind of music. And I happen to love drums too. I grew up listening to Zeppelin and Rush and all those bands, and how can you listen to that and not love the drums?
Yeah.
Bill, I got a story for you. Did you know that Rush played here when my dad ran the Russell Hotel?
Yes, Muzzer told me that. Yes, and Rush played. They were so loud.
What did he do to them?
That was back when they were a circuit band.
Bill?
And they were so loud that they had to friggin'
The old man unplugged him. The wait staff couldn't hear the orders.
Couldn't hear the
Turn it down. And Geddy Lee's like, no. Dad goes, turn it down.
Oh,
no. He went up and yanked the cords out and said, get the hell out of here.
It's tough working the circuit, man. Of course,
And the next
guys,
week, they're making
those guys
$5
became national treasures.
Yeah. Wow.
You know, but for a dude trying to run one of the toughest clubs in the fucking county, sorry, it's like, you know, during that time.
Oh, great. His kids are listening, Bill.
No.
What's that?
No, definitely not.
Oh no, we used to go there when we were kids and listen to the bands, like hang
Here
out.
comes the censorship.
You know, there were local
Yeah.
bands and stuff, and it was just amazing. You know, all the bands would come through in the circuit. It's the only place you could see live music and that. And we were too young to get in the bar, so you know, we go in and listen to the bands from outside. And
Well, there was a
hang
great
out.
big viewing window, though.
It was really cool. Yeah.
Remember the viewing window at the Russell?
Yeah. Yeah, and I remember seeing a lot of the local performers too, and the same reaction. I was like, "Oh no,
Hooker, like
I'm gonna have to be able to do
The Russell is the one that's being renovated again now, right?
No, that's the Rito.
That's the
Oh, okay.
Russell was torn down years ago,
Generations of Levere's won amateur night.
and I found you around 1 o'clock in the morning. I mean, if I had a video camera back then, I mean, I saw some epic friggin' title fights right on the street.
Well, we were the only Burger King in Canada to have bouncers.
Oh, I know.
True story. The only Burger
That's
King
amazing.
security guards.
Oh, that is outstanding. Well, guys, I hate to cut you short. It's been an amazing time tonight. Billy, Scott, Jamie, you're more
Thanks
than
for
welcome
having us.
anytime.
Awesome.
I would love to have another chat with you guys, and hopefully we can get a few more members of the band on too as well.
You probably wouldn't like them either. We don't.
I get along with pretty much everybody, but hey, we don't have to let them talk. I can mute them from here. So
Sure. Just DM me your address and I'll shoot you a couple T-shirts.
all right, I already did it. It's DM'd in there to you, and so you'll have it there. Please let me know anytime you guys are getting ready to release new music or anything like that, especially if you're going to do like any pre-sales or anything like that. We will get that stuff blasted out for everybody, and make sure I get it blasted out on all social sites. And if you even want to come do a guest spot on here, someone should hop on during another show and
Absolutely.
say, guys, this is Deep Fried, and we got another album coming out, pre-sales, blah, 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 whatever. We'll work it out, and we'll make it happen. All right, guys.
Okay, thanks. Thanks again for this. Perfect. Thank you.
No, thank you, gentlemen, for coming on. It's been an outstanding time, and I can't wait to have you guys back on again and
Thanks, buddy.
to chat next time.
Leave Scott at home.
Next time, I'm bringing my drinks too. So you guys were leaving me behind, and
Take care.
all right, man. All right, you guys have a great evening, and we hope to see you real soon. All right, man. Have a good night.
Take care.
Right.
Thanks.
All right, everybody, that was Deep Fried, and I hope you all go out and listen to that album. From what you heard from it tonight, every song on there is going to be a banger, and we will have them back again. It was a tremendous time having them on tonight. We will be back again. I think my next interview is not scheduled until the 1st, which is Thursday. We have Faust on again coming out of Nashville. They've just released some new music, and we're going to have them back on, and we're going to be talking to them on Thursday. But I appreciate every one of you coming out tonight. Please hit the like button on the way out. And if you haven't done it already, hit the subscribe button. Make sure the notifications are turned on so you can catch all the shows live. And please go out and find Deep Fried on Spotify or your favorite streaming service and start listening to that music, because that stuff's outstanding, and I can't wait to have them back on the show again. But until next time, you all have a good evening.